Addressing the nation from the White House's Oval Office, Biden said there is no place for any kind of violence in America. He asked Americans to lower the political temperature. Biden urged people not to make assumptions about shooters' motive. He also said he ordered a full review of the security for Trump's Pennsylvania rally and to assess the security in place for the Republican National Convention this week in Milwaukee. It was Biden's third use of the formal setting of the Oval Office to comment on issues of major importance to Americans since he took power in 2021. Last October, he made a primetime speech to comment on the Gaza and Ukraine conflicts, and in June of 2023, he spoke when a deal was reached with Republicans to avoid a breach of the U.S. debt ceiling.
There is no place in America for this kind of violence, or any violence for that matter. An assassination attempt is contrary to everything we stand for as a nation, everything. It's not who we are as a nation. It's not America. And we cannot allow this to happen. Unity is the most elusive goal of all, but nothing is important than that right now, unity. I urge everyone, please, don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations. Let the FBI do their job and their partner agencies do their job. I've directed an independent review of the national security at yesterday's rally to assess exactly what happened, and we'll share the results of that independent review with the American people as well. And finally, I'll be speaking more about this tonight at greater length from the Oval Office. We must unite as one nation. We must unite as one nation to demonstrate who we are. And so may God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you very much.
The U.S. President has received another briefing in the White House Situation Room on Sunday. Biden was briefed by top Homeland Security and law enforcement officials. He has ordered a review of federal security surrounding Republican Donald Trump. Biden also directed the Secret Service to review all security measures in place for the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee this week. U.S. President Joe Biden's re-election campaign quickly upended its strategy after Saturday's assassination attempt on Republican rival Donald Trump. Within hours of Pennsylvania shooting, Biden's campaign was pulling down television ads and suspending other political communications, including those that had highlighted Trump's May felony conviction in hush money trial. Democrats also called off verbal attacks on the former president to focus instead on a message of unity. Meanwhile, former U.S. President Donald Trump has arrived in Milwaukee, where he will be formally nominated as a Republican presidential candidate later this week after surviving an assassination attempt that aggravated an already bitter U.S. political divide. Trump was holding a campaign rally in Pennsylvania, a key state in the November 5 election, when shots rang out, hitting his right ear and leaving his face streaked with blood. One person in the crowd was killed and two others wounded. The Secret Service agents fatally shot the suspect. Now, Trump is due to receive his party's formal nomination at the Republican National Convention, which kicks off in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on Monday. The FBI said there were no known threats to the convention or anyone attending, while the Secret Service said they do not anticipate any changes to the security plan. All right, Mitch McCann joins us from New York City for more. Mitch, a sensible move by Biden to appeal for calm and his campaign team to also halt verbal attacks on Trump?
Well, good evening to you from the United States, where it has been a dramatic 24 hours with plenty of developments into what has happened here to Donald Trump after that assassination attempt, as the FBI are calling it, yesterday in Pennsylvania. Now, Joe Biden, as you say, has addressed the country and he really pushed the sentiment that people across both sides of the aisle are trying to put across to the American people that it is time for unity. Now, this Oval Office address is only done in very serious matters. There was one after the war in Gaza began last October, and there was one tonight, of course, about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. And here's a little bit of what Joe Biden had to say. He said it's time to lower the temperature in our politics. He said we must not go down this road in America. And in the speech, he also said we compare and contrast the character of candidates, the records, the issues, the agenda, the vision for America. But in America, we resolve our differences at the ballot box. So that's something that Joe Biden and Donald Trump and Republicans and Democrats are all trying to put across to the American people. It's time to lower the temperature, and it's time to come together for now.
Mitch, what more can you tell us about the ongoing investigation into the Trump shooting?
Well, look, we know the person that is the suspect in this case who died. It was 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Bethel Park is a village in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. FBI are treating this as a possible domestic terrorism attack and an assassination attempt against Donald Trump. Now, this is also key. It's been reported that the FBI have recovered the phone, the rifle, and what's been described as a possible rudimentary explosive device of Thomas Matthew Crooks. And they've sent that to the FBI Analytics Lab in Quantico, Virginia, to try and find out more information. But the big question here that still hasn't been answered is, why did someone try to kill Donald Trump? And we don't know that yet, but that is what the FBI hope to answer in the coming hours and coming days.
And finally, Mitch, Trump has already reached Milwaukee ahead of his nomination by the Republican Party. Any word yet on who would be his choice for vice president?
No, not as yet, but there is some reporting that those candidates rumoured to be in the running for the vice candidacy have had extra Secret Service protection added to them and their families after what happened yesterday. And Donald Trump, has just given a short interview to the Washington Examiner newspaper talking about the convention. And I want to read you a quote of what he has told the Washington Examiner. He said, "The speech I was going to give on Thursday was going to be a humdinger. Had this not happened, this would have been one of the most incredible speeches, aimed mostly at the policies of President Joe Biden." Donald Trump says, honestly, it's going to be a whole different speech now. And you can imagine, after what happened yesterday, the whole country will be watching the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee this week.
All right, we'll leave it there. Mitch McCann in New York City. Thank you. Appreciate it.